with the Howard Stern Show.
Okay, Robin. Let's take a look at the news and see what's going on. What is going on?
Good, Howard. Very good.
What?
Look at me.
What are you doing over there? Compressions? Oh, I see. You're killing time. I said, oh, my God. I'm working with a mental patient. I thought you finally lost it. What's going on, Robin?
Listen to this. A guy who works for Arsenio Hall apparently really got into his job. Some people have complained on February 10th and 11th of 1994. They say this guy who's a writer on the Arsenio Hall show conducted private one-on-one casting interviews in a closed-door Paramount conference room for a skit entitled Buttmaster.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be a spoof of the Thigh-Master exercise device. The plaintiffs, all actors and Screen Actors Guild members, responded to the casting call for men with small butts.
Now, was there really a bit going on, or there wasn't even a bit?
I don't think there was even
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Sitting in front of each standing plaintiff, this writer reportedly asked each man to drop his pants. Hey-o. Now the actors, thinking this must be a part of the skit, they complied with the instructions.
Sure.
Hey, it's a job,
Are you sure I'm going to be in Buttmaster?
Actors are looking for work.
Yeah. Now you got to think though for a second how smart actors are. If you're on the Arsenio Hall show, do you think do you think that with FCC laws the way they are and the fact that people are complaining about too much sex on TV, you really think you're going to get to show your ass on TV? Come on. Use your head for a second.
Then the defendant reportedly asked each plaintiff to remove the undershorts.
Right.
Each plaintiff believed that this was a legitimate requirement for the audition, and they complied. Then the writer casually placed his hands on each of them.
On the buttocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Turning each one around.
Absolutely.
Examining each of them.
Genitally.
And taking notes.
On the genitals.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, of course. And you wouldn't be suspicious at all. I say everyone deserves it. How gullible can you be? It's not a porno. It's the Arsenio Hall show. Why would you be asked to show your genitals? Wouldn't you say to the guy, excuse me, why would you need to see my pants then? You can't do that on TV.
Is Arsenio showing this on television?
I mean, what is this, a cable special? Yeah. We're doing a skit called Kindergarten Whore. I'm wondering if anybody has any young 5-year-olds I can bring down here. Talk about the words hungry actor. Is that redundant?
Well, the plaintiffs are holding a press conference today to discuss their sexual battery complaints at 12:30 outside of the Paramount Studios main gate.
Oh, good.
I don't think I'd want to show my face.
Wouldn't you be embarrassed? Like to say, hey, I really got taken in?
Yeah. But anyway, two say that he placed his hands on their buttocks and their genitals, squeezing and kneading them.
You say that like it's a bad thing. We should do that to me.
The legitimacy of this behavior.
So who's the writer?
His name is, I want to get the whole name, Lawrence Amoros.
Well, innocent until proven guilty. He might have been working on a bit. What? You know him, Jackie?
What?
Jackie, do you know the guy?
No, I don't.
Oh, he's making a face like he does.
Said Amoros reached.
What? What is it? You know the guy?
We know a stand-up comedian who goes by the name of Larry Amoros.
Yeah, but that's not him.
I would hope not.
Jackie, is it him? I don't know.
I don't know if Larry works for Arsenio.
Oh, all right. Maybe it's a different guy. You know, it's possible to have the same name.
Sure. Amoros is very unusual.
I know he did used to write for Joan Rivers.
You sure that name isn't Amorous?
One plaintiff said he reached around him, placed a cloth tape measure on top of his buttocks, dropped the other end of the tape measure.
That's a funny bit.
Picked that end up with his other hand and pulled it up on the tape on the tape measure so that it ran under his crotch.
Chinese underwear.
Ambrose then reportedly held
Chinese underwear.
The end of the measuring tape with his thumb in the plaintiff's pubic hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's measuring. How are you supposed to measure?
One plaintiff did
It's gotta be
ask
accurate.
Ambrose how he intended to perform this phase of the audition on women,
Who cares?
as there apparently were several women being considered for the role.
Yeah.
And he said, we don't do this part to the women.
Right. Who cares about women? Well, I'm sure he has a good explanation for all of this.
Well, there'll be a press conference today.
Oh, really? Now, is Amaris going to be there?
No, just the plaintiffs, the people who are complaining.
Oh, I
about
see.
this kind of
Oh,
treatment.
that's boring.
I don't know that the Buttmaster ever
Well,
made it onto the show.
For all those people who are outraged, you'll be happy to know that Arsenio show has been put to midnight
And so maybe none of your friends will see.
in Los Angeles. Yeah. Someone had a really good idea. They wrote us in. They said, Howard, call Arsenio's production office and play the Night Court theme. You know, it's going to be replaced by Night Court.
Oh.
Just play the Night Court theme over and over again. I like that. But, of course, we don't advocate that because I don't approve of such thing. I mean, I like it in theory.
There's a woman who's been profiled in the Daily News today who admits to having had a 2-year love affair with Joel Rifkin.
Well, there's something you want to dredge up.
He's the man accused of killing 17 women. He's now in jail out in Long Island awaiting trial.
I dated Ted Bundy.
She says she even had a pet name for him. She called
Rover.
Nickfer.
Nickfer.
Yeah, which was Rifkin backwards.
Well, that's original.
She said he was...
Isn't that what Oprah does? Didn't she name her production company, her name backwards?
Harpo, yeah.
Harpo. Harpoon. Rifkin spelled backwards is Nickfar. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
But she says that, you know, she was this shy, retiring girl, and they met at the school they both went to, the...
Hey, Durf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or set.
the SUNY Brockport campus on which they at which they went to school. They met there. She joined the camera club to get closer to him, even though she had no interest. Joel didn't have an interest in any of the studies. He was just a camera buff.
Right.
And he loved to take her to wooded areas and take pictures of her. He adored the Bowery Boys and Charlie Chan movies. And he had a lot of interest in fish.
Oprah should have named her production company Ostaff.
What's that?
Fatso spelled backwards.
Stop it.
Just thinking about that.
Joel had decided he was going to be a politician, so they would come to New York City to attend political rallies. And there he would collect campaign buttons.
I love you. I'd like to marry you. I'd like to have your hand in marriage and then chop it off.
The marriage broke up when she became pregnant. She said Joel was just mostly upset that she kept throwing up.
Yeah.
And he did take her to the clinic and sit there while she got the abortion, but I guess that just took the bloom off the rose for him.
Yeah, well, you know. He would have probably just eaten the baby anyway or something. So this poor woman is like going through her life now. She's married. She has kids.
Yeah.
And
she has to tell her children, yeah, I used to date the Long Island Ripper.
Well, you know what happened? The police started questioning Rifkin, and as he was going into his horrible story, he was talking about how in college he did have love, but the woman had an abortion with his baby, and then they had to go look her name up.
Yeah.
Of course, why? It wasn't even relevant to the...
Right. I don't know what she has to do with all the women he killed.
Yeah, so now she's got to be saddled with that. You never know who you're going to date.
She said he would sleep all the time, and there was a cleanliness thing.
Cleanliness, yes.
Yeah, she couldn't take all his cleaning.
He's fastidious. Fred's very clean. I don't know if you know that.
His father would never have forgiven him if they had had a child out of wedlock, and that's why they had to get rid of the baby. So.
Right. It was a morality thing there.
Right. He doesn't mind all the murders.
Yeah, how could he be upset about losing a fetus? He only killed adults. It blew his mind when she killed his fetus.
So that's when I guess he was tipped over the edge, and that was, I guess, the only real relationship he ever had, according to what he was telling police. But he did love that girl.
Right.
So there. The soft side. Joel Rifkin.
When you left to be watching TV and, like, you know, your old boyfriend was like a mass murderer. When you start questioning your judgment.
Yeah. Very strongly. I'd start looking at my husband if I had one.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something wrong.
Yeah, maybe I tracked the wrong crowd.
Looking at my track record, I don't trust you too much anymore.
All right, it was one mistake. Go ahead, Robin. What else you got?
Kimberly Mays, the little girl who was embroiled in this big custody battle between her biological parents and the parents who raised her. She was the child who was swapped at birth.
What did I say?
What did you say? You said that she belonged with the biological parents.
Go ahead. Continue the story.
Well, Kimberly, I told you last week, ran away from home and wound up at this YWCA shelter because she was having some of what they call typical teenage problems. And now she has gone to live with her biological parents.
Of course.
The Twigs.
The Twigs. This is what I've said all along. That's the problem with adopting kids. When they grow up, now this is not an adoption, it's a very rare case, but I told you, you adopt kids right away, what do? They want to be back with their real parents. 9 times out of 10. And why? Because subliminally, the parents, there must be something there that these kids always feel like these are not their real parents. There's something going on where they're not happy.
Subliminal. That's right up front. They're not their real parents.
No, but there's something subliminal that goes on. Like, look at this girl. As soon as she found out that it wasn't her real parent, where'd she go?
That's not the case. Now, she fought in court to keep the Twigs out of her life, said she hated them.
Where did she go?
She went to her parents.
Okay. I feel bad for all these people who adopt. Kid grows up right away, finds the real parents. You see what happened to Roseanne?
That's exactly it. Roseanne's daughter has moved to California to be with her.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's right.
What are you going to do? Life's a risky business.
That's it. That's right.
Nancy Kerrigan back in the news. She,
excuse me.
What?
Oh.
What was that, Howard?
Boy.
What was that?
You don't want to know.
Somebody check his chair.
The guys will be experiencing it in a minute.
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
Nancy Kerrigan will continue her media blitz. She is going to be a part... shut up.
There's a party coming your way, boys.
I can't take this noise anymore. These bodily noises. Gonna be in the Walt Disney World Happy Easter Parade.
Yeah, she's real happy. What did I say when I first saw Nancy Kerrigan? I'm on a roll. What did I say when I first saw that Nancy Kerrigan hit with a pipe?
She's a crybaby.
I said, boy, what a crybaby. And I know you thought I was being harsh at the time, but isn't she a crybaby?
I guess she is. She was on a show with Jane Pauley the other night, being interviewed. She got a little criticism for the remarks she made in Norway about the gold medal winner.
Right.
Then she got a few more nasty comments because she seemed to be a little testy riding in that car with Mickey Mouse. So she goes on this interview with Jane Pauley, and here's what she sounds like.
All right. This is Nancy Kerrigan. She cried through the whole interview, right?
Yeah, listen to this.
Some little actress.
I'm an athlete. I'm not perfect. I'm not a Disney character. I'm a person.
Oh.
And I don't know who built me up to be some perfect person because I'm not. Nobody is.
I have my period, too.
I don't know why people don't want me to be happy. I've been like living in a fishbowl. I finally did what I wanted to do. I've been working for 18 years to finally get 2 clean programs in a row. I've never had it. What? I finally did, and I'm not supposed to be happy about it. I don't understand. Sorry.
You know, what is she crying? You know why she's crying? Because she had everything handed to her. I mean, perfect. She had the situation while it was bad to get hit in the knee. Boom, suddenly she's America's sweetheart.
She's made millions.
All she had to do is keep her mouth shut. So of course you criticize her. She was being nasty there. She was being a sore loser.
Well, I don't understand why she has the nerve to sit on TV and cry like that. She was getting on the Russian girl's case for being a crybaby.
They should have said to her, do you need to go fix your makeup?
Here's a little bit more of that interview.
I never wanted to offend anyone, and if someone took it that way, I am sorry. But if they understood me...
What?
Then maybe they would think differently.
Speak up.
And remember that, you know, I was a victim in something, and I still feel like they're doing it to me. People are just victimizing me over and over. It's not fair that they put me up on that pedestal.
I bet she's a rotten lady.
Because I didn't want to be there. And I don't understand why the same people that put me there want to take me down so fast.
You know, she really is a crybaby. You know what this is, this crying shtick?
What?
This is so that the public will fall back in love with her.
You think so?
Yeah, they'll feel bad for her.
It's the wrong tactic to use with us.
Got millions of dollars. Who cares? She sounds like an American Olympic hero. What?
No, they were showing in that piece that they were showing how the entire country has turned against her.
Yeah.
And then they showed a piece from like...
she didn't win the gold.
Tom Snyder was yelling at her because she didn't stay for the ceremonies, and then Jay Leno was making fun of her.
Right.
And, you know, she's just crying about all of it.
Tom Snyder, who would even be around to hear what he had to say? Making fun of her. Tom Snyder has lost more things for this country, like every television show we ever gave him.
I guess Tom has it right, because he didn't cry.
Yeah. He should cry.
He had a bad life. He didn't cry.
Now he's starting to think he's going to get an offer from NBC to host after David Letterman.
You think?
Well, yeah, I mean from CBS.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, well, maybe they're high. Yeah.
They showed a piece of Jay Leno doing his monologue. Right. And it said, wait till this country finds out that, Tanya Harding was the nice one.
And that set her off?
Bumming. That's all right, man. I have a side business. You think you have a side business with that stupid car of yours, Baba Booey. I've got a side business. I make urinal targets with her picture on them.
With whose picture?
Nancy Kerrigan.
She's in New York this week, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's going to be the host of Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Saturday Night Live needs. They've got no writers. They've got about 1 million performers who aren't funny. And now they got a skater who's going to hold down the show for an hour.
She sounds funny.
Yeah, she's funny. I'd get the guy from Arsenio. Larry... Amoros. With the butt cheeks. He's funny.
That Buttmaster skit.
I like the Buttmaster skit.
We may be talking to one of the people who are suing tomorrow.
All right, well, get Larry on the phone.
Well, we're going to work on all that.
Yeah, get everyone on.
Did you let him on if he...
Of course I'd let him on. Yeah. Let him explain himself, for God's sake. I'm sure he has a...
We have NAMBLA people on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, we have anyone on.
That is the bottom, Robin. That really is the bottom.
Well, you don't know if this is even your friend, right? Right. Could be a different comedian.
But if it is, then anybody out there is listening and could have him call in.
Right, exactly.
Meanwhile, Tanya Harding may not be doing very well on the ice, but she's done very well in court, Howard. Again, there was supposed to be a hearing to determine whether they wanted to kick her off the U.S. figure skating team.
Right.
And she went back to court. And again, a court has sided with her and delayed that hearing for an unlimited amount of time simply because Tanya Harding hasn't had a good chance or time to prepare her own defense. Well, I figure if you stop skating...
If you stop skating, you can prepare a defense. Since when does the court care if you can go skating or not?
Why are they involved in skating matches?
Yeah, that's weird. Well, let's hear from Tanya.
Well, here she is after she got the news that she's going to get to be in the World Championships.
This is Tanya. Guess what? I'm going to Japan.
Guess what? I'm going to Japan?
Yeah.
Oh, she sounds wacky. Guess what? I'm going to Japan. Guess what? Is that like a takeoff on the Disney commercial?
I guess so.
So like her rival now is Nancy Kerrigan, a girl that she didn't open her mouth about knowing when her husband was bashing her with a pipe, and now she's making jokes about it. Unbelievable. Maybe I know why Nancy Kerrigan's crying. There's no justice in this country. Guess what? I'm Tanya, and I'm going to Japan. Another hero. Yeah, stay in Japan. You're smart.
Remember the kind of Olympic heroes we had when we were growing up?
That's right, the great Jesse Owens.
When did you grow up?
Robin, I'm really 73 years old. I didn't want to tell you.
I was thinking of...
I hope it wasn't Bruce Jenner you were thinking
Mark
of.
Spitz.
Yeah, Mark Spitz.
And Mary Lou Retton.
And Tarzan. Nadia Comaneci. What else, Robin?
Those kind of people. Eric Menendez got some bad news yesterday.
Guilty.
That woman lawyer who got them all hung juries isn't going to be allowed to continue as their lawyer. You know, they've run out of money. The last case, they say, cost $650,000.
Why can't she be the attorney?
Well, she petitioned the court to be allowed to continue on as their attorneys, but you understand that the state will now be picking up the tab for their defense. And she asked to be paid $100 an hour for her legal expenses, and she said she would put a cap on any, expenses and investigative costs.
Yeah, why don't all lawyers do that?
$250,000.
How come they're willing to do that for the Menendez brothers? Why don't all lawyers put a cap? Why isn't there a law that says you have to put a certain cap on all these legal expenses? You'll never see that happen because lawyers run this country.
But the judge decided that, no, he didn't want to do that. So the Menendez brothers, I guess, are going to have to get along without this woman if they are retried. Here's Eric Menendez.
No, the Farrakhan, he's screaming about he's screaming about the lawyers. They're the ones sucking the country blood. Eric Menendez?
Eric Menendez.
I am begging this court to compensate my attorney to represent me.
Tough. Now we're going to give you just some crummy attorney.
Yeah, get anybody.
Yeah, we're going to get
legal
anybody.
Aid.
Tough. Hey, now we're paying you legal, but you're going to jail. Wait till you see who we get you for a lawyer.
I bet you we can bring in those costs at about a couple thousand.
Yeah, ain't going to beat Perry Mason.
There is no way that I'm going to be able to go to trial without her representation.
Think again.
Too bad.
Answer no.
Go get a job.
Speaking of Louis Farrakhan.
Believe me, she could work for free if she wanted to work for them. She could work for free.
She's broke. She said the last child
so
broke
what?
her.
Nah, it's all right.
She'll make some money.
Let her go. She'll find some other case. She could work for free. Why not? Why not? What?
I thought they had millions and millions, those guys.
Sure. The parents left millions.
How are they out of money?
You'd be surprised how fast that money goes.
Yeah, it goes right down the tubes.
And when you're having a big trial.
No, that's all right. She work for free. That's all. The lawyers are going to have to start working for free. No lawyer feels that emotional about a case where they'll work for free, believe me.
No, she didn't love them that much.
That's
She's sitting there like their mother at the court, in the court rubbing their heads. And
rub their heads. I'll rub their head. Brett, let me be their lawyer. You're gentlemen of the jury, I think they did it. In fact, I know they did it. They admit to doing it. What's your problem?
That kind of defense will get you a jail cell right next to theirs.
Right. Now listen, we'll give them a court-appointed attorney who I think will be fine. And that will be it. If they're innocent, I'm sure there'll be no problem. Go ahead.
Louis Farrakhan was in Boston. Is that where Amherst College is? I know it's in Massachusetts somewhere. Mm-hmm. But anyway, he was there last night and making a little joke as he opened his opening remarks to about 2,000 people gathered there to hear him speak.
I'd like to make a little joke. 2 Jews go into an oven. And here he is, Louis Farrakhan.
You have not heard anything from me. I just got into town a few minutes ago. And I turned on my television, and they said, the great controversy. Farrakhan, the controversial leader of the Nation of Islam. Security is tight. That's what they said. I have said nothing.
Oh, he's so annoying. He is just so witty. He's just so bright. Let him come on this show. It ain't gonna be like the Arsenio show. Let me talk to him a little bit.
And he also
see how smart he is. Calypso singer, Skiboza.
He also defended himself in terms of his position on the Jews.
I have never said privately
Stop yelling.
To my children or publicly, Jews should be exterminated.
What a great guy. Isn't that magnanimous of him? Look at this guy. He produces nothing for society, produces nothing, contributes nothing, doesn't work, does nothing, and is followed around by a bunch of mutton heads with bow ties. You need people who produce in this society, who create, who add to the culture. They're adding to the culture with a bow tie.
That's what they've provided.
Yeah, they provided us with a bow tie and a shaved head. Put the bow tie in the mouth.
Well, here's some chanting of some people outside of the auditorium where he spoke. They kind of didn't want him there.
Yeah, kind of. Sounds like a party. Hey ho. I gotta go to some of these protests. Bet you get laid. See good-looking girls show up at protests? God, in the 60s they did. But you always had to be the leader. You always had to be the guy with the megaphone or leading the chant to get the girls. Me, I was always overlooked. I was always one of the guys with the armbands.
Why couldn't you grab a megaphone?
Look at me. Would you follow me? I would go out with the megaphone. There would be no one behind me. I don't know. I was always odd man out. People would say, hey, did you hear about the moratorium that's going on? Did you hear about the big march? And I'm like, you're kidding. It was never like, hey, Howard's putting together a march. I always heard there was some march. I remember in my high school there was this guy, a really cute guy.
Yeah. Like
he always had hair over his eye and stuff, and he had a really hot girlfriend.
Right.
He was always there. He always grabbed the microphone. He always had the megaphone. And dickhead, I wanted to punch him in the nuts. God, did I hate that guy.
It's funny because I know when I was going to school, everybody thought those guys were really sensitive guys.
Yeah,
into the issues and causes. And they were doing the same thing to women that every other guy was doing, cheating on them.
Please, women in Vietnam were treated better than these guys treated their girlfriend. I would have treated her like a goddess. Bastards.
It was incredible.
There was a man inside of me. I was treated like a little boy. Fred, get the shovel. I'm in a mood to kill.
Let's see what else is going on. I was thinking about the funeral of John Candy.
Yes.
We were talking about it earlier. People like Chevy Chase and Bill Murray.
We missed it. No one invites us to any cool stuff.
Along with Mariel Hemingway and Dan Aykroyd. But they said a crowd of about 200 attended the funeral. Now, is that a good showing?
No.
What is a good showing?
1,000 to 1,500 people.
Yeah?
If you're truly beloved.
That's decent.
Yes. No Robin Williams?
No.
Oh, they were spared. He was done one of his rambling monologues.
Are his eulogies just like his acceptance speeches?
Oh, look at that. Hey. Over there. John Candy.
Brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters. Thank you. It's one of those things.
So anyway, I was just, I don't know. I thought John Candy was a lot bigger than that, but only 200 people. No Macaulay Culkin, who got a big start in Uncle Buck.
Macaulay Culkin?
He'd remember
No, not Macaulay Culkin.
A lot of these jets having a lot of trouble. An American Airlines jet slid off a runway. On an icy runway, I think it was in Chicago?
I don't know. Why do you have to be so accurate? Just say somewhere.
I just like
in the United States.
In the United States, somewhere.
What do you think? I'll watch CNN later. I'll fill in the details. Just give me the overview.
Look for the story on the sliding jet.
I'm looking for laughs. Thank you. I got him.
I can't always.
It's all right. Don't knock yourself out, please. Accuracy is not. I don't think people's tuning in for us for accuracy. No problem.
Hope not.
Just like to let you know what's going on.
Good.
there were some mortar shells fired at Heathrow Airport in London.
You sure it was Heathrow?
Yes, it was definitely Heathrow Airport.
Yeah, who cares?
They say they think it was the IRA, even though nobody has claimed responsibility for it. The mortar shells didn't hit anything and nobody was hurt, but it was just after a Concorde jet.
What is that whole IRA thing? What's going on? What is the problem that they can't solve? Give it to me simply. In other words, there's a bunch of Irish guys.
Right.
And England controls Ireland?
That part of Ireland, yes. There's Northern Ireland, and then there's this other part of Ireland.
And the Irish want the English out?
Yes, they would like to have their own self-rule.
And they can't get that?
No.
England will not leave?
The British will not let them go.
Well, then the British are wrong. Do the British feel they own that?
Yes.
Oh, so they feel it's part of England?
Right. Well, Great Britain.
Oh. Oh, why are they arguing about it? Who cares? As long as it's running.
Well, they seem to feel that there's preference shown to certain parts of the population.
Oh, please.
Simply because it's run by the British.
You know what you got to do, Robin? You got to abide by my simple rule. It's a rule I've lived by my whole life. If it's more than 2 miles from me, so what? What's the next story?
You know, we have gone into Heathrow Airport, Howard.
Well, that's when I cared about it. No, that's Jethro, not Heathrow.
Let's see what else. Oh, there was a 12-year-old girl who had been accused of murder. Now, the murder happened 10 years ago.
So now she's 22.
No. She's only 12.
She committed murder at 2?
At about 3 years old.
See, Fred? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Fred said this wasn't possible. The girl has confessed to drowning her infant cousin in a bucket of bleach and water in 1984.
Wow. Jackie, you're bizarre.
But she was clean.
There's been a move in Cincinnati to drop the murder charges against her.
They say
it was a mistake to have charged her in the first place, and she was only 3 years old when the baby was killed.
She probably didn't know what she was doing.
Under Ohio law, anyone under the age of 7 can't be charged with a crime because they don't have the criminal intent.
Right. Yeah, I go with that.
Say. He says he expects the juvenile court judge to dismiss the charge tomorrow. The death of the 10-month-old boy has been ruled accidental, but last month the girl confessed to drowning him. Investigators have given no motive for the slaying. So we don't know exactly why she did it. But she does remember doing it, and she confessed to it.
She probably did it because she just was a kid, and she... Oh, what do I know? The hell do I know?
Baby was getting too much attention.
I don't have much recollection of doing anything at 3 years old, so if I did, who knows? I might have been a mass murderer at 3. I don't know. The hell was I doing?
Well, when you do something like that and it causes a big hubbub, you usually do remember it.
Yeah, I might have killed a couple of kids when I was like 3.
I remember everybody being all upset.
Everyone's so uptight.
Doctors in Philadelphia removed a testicle from Phillies first baseman John Kruk.
Just for the hell of it?
No.
It makes me play baseball better.
It had been injured last season by an errant throw. He got a ball right there.
Hey, send it to the Bells. Richard Belzer.
No, I don't think Bells wants this one.
Could still be a ticket.
Because what happened was when the doctors, it kept causing him pain.
I'm tingling right now. I am. Are you tingling, Fred? I see Fred's look. He got hit with a ball in the ball.
Was it a hit or was it like a throw?
A throw, I think.
It was an errant throw.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But it kept hurting. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Doctors decided to take it out yesterday.
Take it out.
And yesterday, after they took it out...
They took it out.
Right.
They noticed that it looked funny.
Hey, it looks like the Magic 8 Ball.
And they determined that it was cancerous.
Oh, really? So it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Good for him.
What about the other one?
What about the other one?
How are both of them?
The other one's still there, Fred.
As long as you have one, I think you're technically still a man.
Do they think the ball hitting it?
No, the ball hitting it didn't have anything to do with it. They think the ball hitting it was a lucky break for him.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I think they think sitting on the microwave is what caused it.
Because if he hadn't been hit, maybe they wouldn't have discovered the cancer until it had spread somewhere else.
I hear you.
All right, so now they recommend it.
So now everybody should get hit.
That's the new test.
You're lucky. We saved you.
Doctors say they're going to put him through some CAT scan testing today to see if the cancer had spread anywhere else. But should it not have, he'll get a little bit of radiation treatment and should be able to go on and continue his baseball career.
If you lose both testicles, are you technically still a man? You know what I mean? I mean, because nothing else works, does it? No. You can't really use the rest of your equipment, can you? It's going to be a drag.
I guess not.
It is so ridiculous how a man is built. I think about this all the time.
Oh, how would you have done it?
No, I'm just saying all that external apparatus. Everything can get... I'm lucky in a sense because most of my stuff is so inward and so uncomfortably nudged inward that mine has always got a protective shell around it.
It is a horrible design.
It's a bad design, especially. I understand.
Wait a minute, go on, explain it.
That a woman needs to, something inside of her, and that it would have to hang outside of a man. But I'm saying the actual scrotum is a very poorly designed apparatus. That should all be internal. Yeah,
but you need to have that coolness there. I thought.
I don't know.
Or whatever you're making.
You put ice cubes on it. That's just like even in a computer, they put everything inside the guts. Sure. You know what I mean? They protect everything. There's nothing protected about that sensitive area.
Well, look at how long we have gone on with this bad construction.
I would have mounted it on my head.
Baseball should be for women.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you guys do such dangerous things?
Yeah, well, we like to risk it. Yeah, risking everything. You ever hear the expression, you put your balls on the line? That's it. Thank you. What else you got in the news?
Let me see. Oh, Michael Jordan's catching a lot of heat because he decided to play baseball. So yesterday he answered the critics who say that he's making a mockery of the game by trying out.
Well, he answered the critics. Here he is, answering critics.
If you're good enough, you'll make the team. If you're not good enough, the cream will come to the top no matter what.
Yeah, what's the big deal?
If the guys here are willing to support and help and do what they can to help your situation, I think that's great. And I think that's something that that article is missing.
I want to try it.
What respect that I've gotten from these players.
Why would people criticize that?
I don't understand what the big deal is.
Yeah.
Baseball isn't that important. It would be one thing if Michael Jordan wanted to join cancer research.
Right, then I'd be nervous. Want to do brain surgery. Someone told me, is this true he's going to play checkers on pay-per-view next? If this doesn't work out?
Well, that's a mockery.
Yeah, that's a joke. I think that was I think someone was kidding.
Down in Lawrence, West Virginia, a former beauty queen is charged with trying to kill her romantic rival's family the day after she crowned her successor.
Really?
Yeah, this girl named Tracy Lippert of Charlottesville, Virginia. She sang 3 songs at the Miss Williamsburg pageant on February 26th and crowned her successor. She left the next day on a 245-mile journey to Lewisburg, where authorities said she tried to kill the Weichel family. Because a former boyfriend dates their 24-year-old daughter, Melissa.
I guess while she was arraigning Miss, what is it?
West Virginia.
Yeah, Miss West Virginia. She didn't want to embarrass the crown, so she waited till after. That's okay.
She also planned to burn down the house after killing everybody. That's what the police say.
Miss West Virginia. That would make sense. They're pretty backwards back there. You wouldn't want to be Miss West Virginia.
Her lawyer, of course, says she's innocent of all these charges. She was arrested on February 27th after the relatives of this girl, Melissa, subdued her. Lippert knocked on the door of their home and said she had a problem with her car and wanted to call the police. She asked to use the phone, and then she asked for a glass of water. When one of the relatives turned to get it for her, she hit him on the head with a hammer.
Wow.
She also had a 9mm pistol, a butcher knife, charcoal starter fluid, and matches.
Wow.
They also found a list of questions.
Barbecue shrimp!
They also found a list of questions she planned to ask her former boyfriend about his feelings for Melissa.
And if he answered wrong, you'd probably get killed.
I guess he was going to get it too.
Well, you must be good in the sack. You know what a compliment that is? When a woman, you make love to a woman, and now she wants to burn down your house, kill your parents, kill you, barbecue at you, your house, everything.
That's a compliment?
Yeah, that means you're good.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had a woman be upset that I left her.
Doesn't mean she's crazy. Means you're good.
I can't get a woman to light a match when I leave her. They pick up right where they left off.
You can't get them to smoke a cigarette.
No. It's amazing. I never got a woman that angry when I said goodbye. The worst I ever got, it was a phone call. Girl said she was disappointed in me.
Really?
And she got right over it.
No, there's one girl who won't talk to you even today.
Who's that? Oh, the girl from Cleveland?
Yeah.
She talked to me. She just wasn't friendly.
Oh.
And she wasn't happy to hear from me. I don't know. Believe me, when I leave my coat at their house, they call.
A finalist to head the Democratic Party in Houston is a transsexual woman and former death row inmate who says she hopes that her past will not affect her political future.
Nah, it shouldn't in this country. Everybody... What is she running for?
She's running to head the Democratic Party in Houston.
And she murdered?
Leslie Elaine Perez.
Guilty.
Of Houston. Was the leading vote-getter in the primary election on Tuesday.
Amazing.
To lead the Harris County Democratic Party. But she faces a runoff in April, and she has to get 50% of the vote.
In these ghetto communities, the voters almost appear not to care. I mean, they don't care about anything. You could be a crack addict. It is unbelievable in these ghetto areas how little politically involved they are.
Do you know Houston well enough to call this a ghetto area?
It's gotta be. I know it. I'll bet my life on it that this is a ghetto area. There's no way that somebody who has a background... What is her background?
She's a transsexual who was a death row inmate.
Yeah, I mean, there is just no way. I am guaranteeing that this is a ghetto area. I've never seen people less politically active. When it really comes down to it, and they're talking about running their communities.
The woman is willing to serve.
They can't believe there's somebody willing to serve. I mean, who's our opponent? David Koresh's ashes? I'm running against the dead body of David Koresh.
Perez, formerly known as Leslie Douglas Ashley, was convicted in the 1961 shooting of a Houston area man while working as a male transvestite prostitute.
It's unbelievable.
During a three-way sexual encounter along with a woman.
And she's in a runoff. You know, and it's funny, too, like, whenever I see in the white community, like now they're after Bill Clinton for Whitewater, which I'm glad, by the way, because now he knows how I feel with the FCC.
Yes.
He absolutely
When the government runs amok.
Yeah, when the government runs amok and they're wasting millions of dollars going after you for no apparent reason. Good luck. He's probably going to be impeached over it, too. But I'm glad. Let him experience what it's like for me. So, anyway, you know, and you see, like, white guys, you know, they get investigated and stuff, and, you know, bad stuff sometimes happens, like Nixon's forced to resign and all that.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like even in like some of the black communities, they really do elect some of these.
Well, I don't think Perez is black.
Yeah, you know what I mean, Spanish, black, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Some of the poorer communities, they really don't seem to be that politically active. I mean, it's almost like Mayor Barry almost was reelected with the crack against them.
Just like everything else, Howard. I mean, poor people aren't motivated to do much of anything.
I guess.
That's why they're poor.
But years ago, even in the poor communities.
No, there's difference in being not well-to-do, but hard-working people.
Yeah.
And the poor we have today who sit around and collect welfare. Yeah. These are not highly motivated people in a great many cases.
And they would vote for, hey, we'll give them a chance. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Perez underwent a sex change operation in the 1980s, was sentenced to death. But the conviction was overturned when it was revealed that prosecutors hid details supporting an insanity plea.
Oh, so that's good.
After a second trial, Perez was sentenced to 15 years in prison, was paroled in 1971. Her life was the topic of a book titled Dangerous Games. Now she is out of jail and got all of her parts cut off and pumped up and...
Good.
And then she got into politics.
What else is in the news? I'm going to throw up. What else is in the news? This is why white America doesn't take the black community seriously. I don't like to hear these stories. Go ahead. Give me a different story. What else you got in that pile of goodies?
Let's see. A new book slurs the Mets owner.
Good.
Mets chairman Nelson Doubleday.
I'm going to move next door to him.
Disparaged some fellow baseball owners as Jew boys.
Well, were they or weren't they?
According to a new book scheduled to be published in May.
Jews are too uptight. Nothing wrong with Jew boy. That's all right.
Lords of the Realm. The real history of baseball is written by Wall Street Journal reporter John Helyar, who co-authored Barbarians at the Gate. He says that Doubleday's quote came after American League President Bobby Brown and National League President Bill White called a September 1992 meeting aimed at ousting Commissioner Fay Vincent. The goal of Milwaukee President Bud Selig and White Sox Chairman Jerry Reinsdorf, who are both Jewish. Well, I guess the Jew boys got to you, Doubleday is quoted as saying.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, and I love how they write these things. No, no attribution, nothing.
What do you mean, no attribution?
Don't they have to attribute it to someone? Don't they have to, where do they get these facts from?
I guess people who were in the meeting.
Is there such a word as attribution?
Yes, there's a word as that, such a word.
Yeah.
He's naming all these names. It's not like a source said.
Yeah.
So he probably talked to one of these guys who was in the meeting and got this statement back from Nelson Doubleday.
Well, just for that, Fred and his Jewish girlfriend moved next door to him.
Always interesting to know what's going on. Jack Nicholson is being presented with the American Film Institute's Lifetime Achievement Award.
He's good. He's a good actor. All right, there's a guy who deserves an award. He's good.
He's one of the youngest people to ever receive this award. You can see the tribute tonight on CBS. In his acceptance speech, Nicholson makes a reference to being happy to be there and not in jail for smashing in a guy's car.
Well, he should be happy not to be in jail. What's he smashing cars for? What, is he a nitwit?
Go ahead and play the clip.
Oh, I see. You actually have him on tape saying this? You're an amazing reporter.
I'm touched, and unfortunately, I'm not drunk, and lucky to be at large. Thank you.
Lucky to be at large?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not in jail.
Making a joke of, listen, it's true. What is this guy doing, this Jack Nicholson? What is he running around smashing people's windshields?
I guess now he's saying he was drunk at that time.
Oh. Well, I don't know what he's saying by that. But I see you have more speech. Should we listen to it?
Yes, he also said this. This is another excerpt from that acceptance speech.
I want to thank the American Film Institute for this award. I confess that, I felt strange about it. Certainly a lot of people leap to my mind who say they're in a better position to receive it than I am.
I love that humble shtick they will go through.
What is that voice he's putting on?
And what is that slow delivery? He obviously knows how to talk faster. I saw him as the Joker. I mean, he knows how to do it. These actors get so affected. I only hope that I get this affected. And I feel so important that every word must
be dwelled upon.
Yes, important words.
Jeffrey Dahmer was a hit in the ratings.
How'd he do?
Dateline NBC had its highest ratings ever on Tuesday night.
Well, of course. There's a guy on TV talking about he ate other people. How could you not tune in? The most curious of us has to say, I'm going to tune in. The least curious of us has to tune in to hear that. Otherwise, you're not alive.
But still, the birth of Jackie's baby on Roseanne.
I don't get it. How is that Roseanne such a popular...
the winner for the night.
Believe me, that's the only person who would have Jackie's baby. Is Roseanne.
Dahmer beat Amy Fisher for Dateline. They had their highest ratings ever before this Dahmer interview when they interviewed Amy Fisher for a segment in December of 1992.
He ate people.
He should feel very good about that.
All right.
Anything interesting on the talk shows today?
All I know is I see Jackie eating someone. He's dying to get on network television. Oh.
Montel Williams, women who got revenge on their cheating husbands by having affairs.
Yeah.
And on Ricky Lake, teens who want their parents to get a divorce. Well, that's an interesting twist.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Okay. I always wanted my parents to get divorced. You get better gifts.
Oh, you didn't.
Yeah, oh, please. First of all, they would have gotten off my back. At least one of them would have moved out of an all-black community.
You'd have gotten some kind of a break.
Yeah.
When you went to visit somebody.
Right. Give me the plugs, Jackie. I got to get out of here. Let me remind you about 1-800-52-STERN, open for business.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to tell you this.
Yeah.
This I meant to bring up to you right away because you're always talking about homosexuality.
Yeah.
I got to tell you this. They've been studying some horses on Assateague Island in Maryland.
Yeah.
To see just how things go.
Go ahead. They couldn't find one horse that was gay.
They have concluded that many males live in bachelor bands.
Yeah, go ahead.
Many others are loners.
Right, but there's no gay horse.
And 1/5 of the females breed with their fathers.
Yeah, but there's no gay horses.
Yeah. You don't know what those bachelor bands are doing.
No. They might go to theater and stuff. But there were no homosexual horses. Look, I got nothing against homosexuality, but it's an affect. It's an affect. It's like Jack Nicholson speaking slowly.
It is genetic.
Absolutely not. You're wrong. You've never been more wrong. It's the first time you've been this wrong. Yeah, go ahead.
There are gay birds.
No, they're not. Show me one.
70.
All right, thank you. Okay. That's everyone. Oh, yeah, gay birds.
70%.
Yeah, 70%.
70% of birds are gay, huh?
Yeah, and look where you're getting your information from.
I read that.
Talking about gay birds. At least if Fred told me I could believe it. What?
Marlin Martling.
Yeah, Fred, you read a lot, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that 70% of the birds are gay?
That's an unusually high figure.
Yeah.
Somebody fax us.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
I you take faxes?
Was his name Jeffrey Dahmer?
70% of the bird.
Dear Jackie.
1-800-52-STERN is open for business. Listen to me, whether you're gay or not. Order the poster. That's what I'm telling you. Listen to me. I don't know how to make it any more clear. It is limited edition. It's a Leroy Neiman poster. It's a painting of me. You hang this up wherever people hate me, and they'll throw things at it. But it's really, hold on to it. That's all I can say. And, yeah, you look at this, your bird will be gay. And order it early. Seriously, you get the backstage.
Order early, order often.
And the backstage videotape as well comes with that, and it's killer. Real killer. $39.95, brought to you by Infinity Ventures and me, and you must be 18 or older because the backstage stuff's a little rough. I forgot to bring in that Tiny Tim stuff. Hey, Baba Phony, call my house, make yourself useful, and leave a message for me to bring in the backstage tape for tomorrow.
I'm going to find this gay animal information if it kills me.
Keep looking. Bring me a gay anything. Jackie Platinum Martling. Next Thursday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. 27 names. One big show at Rascals Comedy Club in Ocean Township, New Jersey, the wildest night of the year. And for all the raunchy jokes, and to order Jackie's new CD, live at the Philadelphia Funny Bone, which is getting some excellent reviews here on the air, call the all-digital 516-9221. Remember, 516-9221 is just a regular call. Boy, Gary, this Thursday night from 9 to 11 p.m. at the grand opening of the Paradise Club on 50 West 33rd Street in Manhattan with legendary Vanessa Del Rio. This Saturday night will be at the Nassau Coliseum for the Long Island Custom Car Show, along with Miss Howard Stern and John Wayne Bobbitt. Stuttering John mailing list, 609-546-STUPID. Don't miss Steve Gorilla, along with 92.3 K-Rock Band, Saturday, March 12th, from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Union Market in Union, New Jersey, as he hosts a karaoke contest. And if you're planning a wedding or party, you need a great disc jockey, call Scott the Engineer's Rocket Entertainment, toll-free from any city, 1-800-PARTY-MC. If you'd like to hire Scott in the New York area, call 718-BAG-5040. We'll see you tomorrow.
Suckers want money